show. Ace Micheals in the house with you doing the show today. Today we're going to have a wonderful time together doing interviews and whatnot. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for fanding me, friending, liking, and sharing the show. If you've ever like to be on the show, you'd like to come on and get your little jiggy bits on, then you could be on the show, and just all you have to do is just ask us to say, I'd like to be on your show today, and we will accommodate you. That way you can speak your mind, voice your opinions, suggestions, convictions, beliefs, ideas, dreams, you know, all that whatnot, mate. And that's what's up, man. It's the Ace Micheals Show. Listen, today we have a fabulous first-timer on the show. Oh, snap. She a first-timer. She a first-timer. She a first-timer. And so we're going to treat her really good. Welcome to the show. My guest today is Violet Pixie.
So,
Violet Pixie. The first part of the thing is you're going to have to explain that name.
I'm gonna have to what?
Explain that name. Violet Pixie.
Explain my name. Okay, sounds good. Well, it's because I once had violet hair, and I told everyone my name was Violet, and it stuck, kind of like, and it just had always been like a favorite name for me ever since I tricked a bunch of people into thinking my name was Violet with my purple hair. I felt badass. So I kept that name up until I got my Pixie haircut, and I thought I want Violet for my name. Like I feel it fits. And then my boyfriend came up with Pixie because I have short hair. I had short hair, so it was Violet Pixie. It just seemed to work.
Nice. And are you short in stature? Are you a pixie-sized person? Is that
I'm
all
a Pixie-sized person. I'm like 5'4".
Okay, that's not. That's
It's
borderline.
not like tiny.
Yeah,
But
you're more like a cute pint, you know. But
a
Violet
what?
cute pint doesn't work as well as Violet Pixie, so I get it.
Yeah.
It's like
I
if a
mean,
big
it
guy
works better
called
when I
tiny.
had short hair, and now it's like.
Yeah, tasty. And so you got this name happening because you were a model? Is that the deal? You were in the modeling industry?
Yeah, and I wanted to keep my personal page with my family and stuff private,
Mm-hmm.
so that like these people wouldn't be contacting my family and friends.
Do you have a far out funky real name, like an embarrassing real name, like Amy
Oh,
Tchaikovsky or something?
no, it's Elisa, and
Oh,
my middle name's Pilar. Elisa Pilar.
Elisa
Akita.
Pilar. Okay, so
Not.
but Violet Pixie is how we know you professionally, and that's what we'll call
Yeah.
you. That's
Yeah.
what we stalk you as. That's what's up, Violet Pixie. So tell me three great things about Violet Pixie. Like what makes you different from all the other Pixies? You know what I'm saying?
I think I make people feel comfortable. I'm very real,
I do feel comfortable.
genuine.
No, I do feel comfortable. That's true.
Thanks. Yay. I'm glad.
And you're very real. You
um,
keep it real. She's a real down home chick, down home girl.
yes. Yeah.
Nice.
What else? Trying to think. I'm like kind of random.
Mhm.
I'll like bring up just like random topics. I try to lighten the mood a lot of the time. I don't
Nice.
know. Uh, yeah. Uh, I love animals. I have a million pictures of animals, everybody's animals on my phone.
Oh.
I love to hike. I'm a nature person. Yeah,
Are you that kind of girl that's into those wild, exotic animals like snakes and lizards and stuff,
all
or
kinds of animals, but I think I mostly like dogs and cats.
dogs are cool, cats?
Well, I mean, but I like all animals. I love polar bears, koala bears,
Do
fluffy,
you
cute animals.
do you think you would ever do like a portion of your finances go to like animal preservation, conservation, blah, 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 blah?
Yeah, I would. I want to like help the animals somehow for sure.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
We need to think more about that. You know, like when we have an earthquake, we don't think about how many domestic animals are displaced during an earthquake. We just, I mean, I didn't until I had a guest on that explained to me that, you know, those animals get shaken from their homes, literally. They find themselves in a new environment. They're wandering. They're scared. They're, you know, where's their human? They don't know where their human is. And
Yeah.
it's a traumatic experience. I had never thought about it. So
That's really
I
bad.
think it's something that we should think about, especially during pandemic. You know, if your human goes into the hospital for a few weeks, nobody explained anything to you. Your human's just gone.
Yeah.
You know, something.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Def- yeah, oh, definitely. And endangered species too. Or
Yeah, exactly. So we have to
one.
think about that. So let's talk about your modeling. So you got into modeling. What was the first day like? Like I've always been curious about that. So you show up, you know you're gonna model because they told you before, but the
Yeah.
actual first shoot, like what is that like?
I'm trying to think of what I would consider my first shoot because there's the first shoot I did with my friend who was getting into modeling, and I kind of just went along with her, and it was her shoot, but they did take pictures of me too,
Uh-huh.
me
Uh-huh.
alone and me and her together, and I mean that was interesting. It was kind of what I expected a photo shoot would be like. I don't know, but I knew nothing, you know. I always like posed with my mouth open, like I knew nothing about like closing my mouth for some reason.
But every
Like
time you're like,
catching flies, I was just like, just like all the time, like you
right,
know,
right.
that look was fine sometimes, but not all the time.
That's fine.
And I learned to like actually have like meaning behind my face. Like think about something, while you're modeling so it like comes out and expresses some sort of emotion.
Yeah.
So it, like people can read something into it rather than just like a blank like deer in the headlights look. That was basically like all I could do at first. I went with my friend and we freaking just put, this was weird. I didn't expect to be taking pictures in somebody's yard. This photographer, the first guy I shot with, took us to somebody's yard that just had like those weed flowers that are pretty, but they're weeds.
Yeah, yeah.
And we just like shot in a bunch of flowers and we didn't even ask this person if we could shoot in front of their yard. So yeah, you have to be prepared to not know what to expect, really. Like I've shot in people's basements. Like it sounds kind of weird, but like people have different places where they shoot.
Now,
um,
being that you've done different types of modeling, and you've done some nude modeling, is there a big difference between doing a photo shoot where you're going to take your clothes off versus doing any other photo shoot? Like, do you have to prepare a different way? Do you have different expectations?
um, for sure, like um, I wound up not even really doing a lot of clothes photo shoots. I don't do a lot of those actually. Most people are, they want full nude. So it's like some clothes, and then I always wind up getting nude. And I could tell you about the first shoot where I got nude. It was pretty much like my first shoot, I think, where it was like actually for me too. And it was at this place called the Junkyard, and I shot with a bunch of different photographers. I shot with a snake, like a big boa, naked, of course. I got naked like my first shoot.
And the snake was already naked, so the
Um,
snake was comfortable.
yeah, I've always been really comfortable with being naked. I don't know. I love it. So yeah, it was pretty natural to me uh, to get naked for photo shoots. Um, what was the question again?
The question you answered, but now it led to another question. But the question was, is there a difference in preparing? Like if you know you're going to be nude on Friday for a photo shoot,
Yeah.
do you stay off wheat and dairy that week? Like, what do you do? Like,
Oh
ready?
my goodness. I definitely will try to be a little healthier, even just the day that I'm shooting. I don't do much like preparing for that. I work out. I work out almost every day. Like
Okay.
I worked out like a little bit just like before this, just because. Like
Mhm.
I'm kind of crazy. Like I have workouts memorized now in my head, and I just like randomly break down in squats or like arm workouts or like these twisty things. Like I just keep it.
You just bust into them.
Yeah.
Spontaneously
I'm I'm
bust
all
into the workout.
busting a few workouts. Yep. So I'm kind of always just preparing, you know, for my next photo shoot and stuff.
So, what do you feel is too much nudity? Like, I go to this place called Instagram, and there's a lot of nudity and close to nudity. Like, it's like
Yeah.
to a point where you kind of like, and I'm a guy, and I still have to say sometimes, like, well, if I wanted to go to a porn site, I would just go to a porn site. Like, I don't need to see
Right.
so much. But what is your personal meter where you say, you know what? Like, if maybe a photographer asks you do something, and where do you say, I definitely don't do that? Like, that's not, I'm not getting
Well,
that.
now it's posing with a noose. That's for sure. Not gonna do that.
Yeah, let's don't
Sorry.
do that. Let's don't
I'm never gonna do that again. Sorry. um also like for like sexual and like nude shoots, things that I won't really want to do or put out there, like spreading pictures. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, but like,
yeah.
yeah,
No,
I don't really want to do that for the public. You know, like they can do that, but I don't want them to post it anywhere. They just have to pay
no,
for.
no
um,
gynecological research photos, we'll call them. We'll stay away from that.
what is it? Yeah, exactly. I'm
Yeah,
not really into that look myself. It's not like something I really like. I don't like, I don't know, like toys and pictures. I'll say no to that. I'm not gonna pose with like vibrators and stuff because I just think
mhm.
it looks tacky. Like not my thing.
Well, now, we're in an age now, and this is a real thing. It was kind of a thing, but now it's definitely a thing, which is this pedophilia. Like we got a serious problem. Listen, man,
Yeah,
we got problems with COVID, racism. Our problems are beginning to stack up to where they're bigger than us now. And one of the problems we got in this country is this
hmm
pedophilia thing.
I
So
know. Oh,
so as a model, and you have a young look. I mean, you look like a teenager, and
yeah.
you
And
might
I'm
you
really
really look like a teenager. Have you ever been put in a situation where you're like, wait a minute, you're trying to make me look like I'm younger?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I definitely have. Yeah, photographers will bring out like weird toys, like children's toys sometimes, you know. They'll
It's
want
not
me to wear
funny. It's not funny.
pigtails
Yeah.
and like have a lollipop and stuff, and I feel so weird about it.
What is
Yeah.
wrong with people? This is some.
I know. That's actually the first photographer I shot with had me, not our first shoot, but he's had me do that before. The one that just like had us shoot in somebody's yard. Like you just never know what to expect. Like
Try to go there. Yeah.
yeah, even recently, he had me like doing that sort of shoot, and it's a good question because I don't know how to feel about it because people ask it and they're paying for it, so I'm like,
Hmm.
okay. But like I don't know, maybe I shouldn't.
Well,
Something.
I mean, it's a very strange predicament because the world of professional photography, glamour modeling, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I'm not a scholar, okay,
Yeah.
but in my opinion, really started with the era of like Hugh Hefner and the pinup girls, and taking a sexy
Taking
picture.
it too far,
What you
I
say?
feel like.
They went.
I'm saying it was like this weird like fetish for like making older girls look like younger girls is just like taking that pinup look too far. Like
Exactly.
sometimes it gets creepy.
Yeah, well, there's a thing that's getting creepy. Like, I have to say this in this way. I hope that this is not a spoiler alert for anyone who goes to Pornhub, but a lot of those videos are not actually brothers and sisters at all. They're actors. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what a strange, why would you need that fetish? Like you're already selling sex. Why would you also need to add to that the the fetish that it's incest too? Like, does that make it hotter? That's just weird. That's
Yeah.
why we're in
That's
a
something I
strange
definitely
country right
don't
now.
do.
That's strange. That's not okay.
I would never do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Something.
I interviewed a mom who said that she and her daughter are both models and that they do implied nude shoots together. And I thought that was creepy as hell. Like, to take your
Yeah, I find
top
that
off
kind of
and pose
weird.
with your mom and your daughter. Mm,
Don't put, yeah.
they want to see that? Not for free.
No, I don't want to see that. No, that's kind of weird.
It's, no, it
You
is strange. So
you can
you
be
have,
comfortable being naked, but you don't need to do photos of it with your daughter. Like,
well,
you,
that's what I thought was weird about it. It's like, why would you, with your daughter?
but why would you want that? Especially for me, because my pictures are mostly based around like sensuality. So for me, it sounds like even weirder because I like to take sexy pictures. But
Yeah.
not everybody's trying to put sexy pictures out there, I guess. But if you're nude, it's just like it's sexy.
And
So,
your catalog is very tasteful and it's very artistic, which is
yeah,
another thing I wanted to talk about because you are an artistic, creative model. You're not just a girl who's doing nude photos. And there's a
right.
lot of people. I mean, there's some beautiful women out there on the internet that have beautiful pages, and they're nude and they're naked, and but it's not
I like to mix
artistic,
it up.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
like I just did a Marie Antoinette shoot and I was fully clothed for
yeah. And
like
it's
a lot
good. I
of
mean,
it.
it's great to be an artist like that. But I think people have lost the path from being, I don't know what you would call what they're trying to do, and being actually creative. Like when I look at your stuff, like I see work that reminds me of some of the most world famous photographers that have shot beautiful women because the work is classic artwork. But a lot of people aren't doing that. Selfies of you topless, that's not art. You know,
Yeah,
that's just not, it's not the same thing,
right.
you know. So, what would be your pieces of advice for a new model starting out that wants to one day become where you're at? What would you say to the
Um,
model as far as what to look out for, what to look forward to? What's up?
I think she should just think about everything she's like putting out there and if it's something she stands for and only be herself and not to try to be like anyone else.
Mm,
Just figure out, I don't know, what she thinks looks nice and try to portray that. Like,
that's good advice.
and learn her angles and stuff. Triangles. Make as many triangles as you can as a model, like this, and like just don't be symmetrical. Sometimes it's okay, but like for the most part, like we don't want to see you with your hands on your hips a lot. Like maybe one hand on your hip, one hand like this, you know what I mean? Just
I
switch it
do.
up.
I do.
Yeah.
Good advice.
That's what I would
Very
tell
good.
a model. And then also to just don't do anything that they're not comfortable with.
Yes, indeed. Hey
Yeah.
man, today it's been the Ace Michael Show. My guest, Violet Pixie. Violet, I know you have a new series coming out. How do we stalk you on the social media? If we want to stay in touch with you, we want to be informed, we'll be elevated. What do we need to
Um,
do?
well, I have Facebook, Violet Pixie on Facebook. I have Instagram. It's just Violet Pixie on Instagram. Or actually, it's Violets Pixie, plural Violets.
Violet Pixie.
Well, there's no apostrophe here, just Violets. And then I have a website, just violetpixie.com.
And that is what's up. Hey
That's
man, it's that simple. You know, I really like that advice. Just be yourself and nobody else. I love it.
yeah,
It's that simple. You know what I say at the end of every show, and I still mean it to this day. Live the life you love. Love the life you live. Thank you.
yeah, definitely.